Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I decided to bring on the bima the board of 2038 to sit with me. It is wonderful to have, thanks Calvin. It's wonderful to have smaller congregants with us, but it really reminds all of us that our congregation is very much alive and growing. So to begin our service, I want to thank Linda Littman Lockhart and Elaine Stupp for hosting tonight's pre-neg in memory of their mother's Yortzeit, who sounds like she was an incredible woman, and I wish I could have gotten to know her. This evening, we are celebrating two different birthdays, so I'm going to actually call up Nini and Pop Pop to come up with all of their grandchildren here to help us light the candles and lead Kiddush. Good job, Calvin, right on cue. And guys, come on up, and we're going to light the candles with your grandparents. And I invite the congregation to turn to pages 2 and 5. Thank you, Rabbi. You guys can all go up there. Annie, scooch up, Mama. Scoot up. Calvin.
Listen, are you commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Listen, are you commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalik Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
So now as the congregation turns to page 5, what's the next blessing after candles? You remember?
Bebam.
Bim bam, I wish. But that's a good one. Do you remember the next one? We're going to do the Kiddush. So go ahead, Pop Pop, and lift up the Kiddush cup. And we are on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvrat
have one more special blessing because two of these young men, one had a birthday the other day and one has one tomorrow. Yeah, I know. So you guys learned in school you don't blow out the Shabbos candles. I know you know it. I know. You can't blow out this one, but first the congregation's going to sing to you guys. So it's these two gentlemen's birthdays. So let's go in the front. It's not gonna be an interview today. I know you know. All right, so you guys ready?
Yes. We're just doing acapella.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear lady. Happy
Birthday to you.
Now we're gonna do it.
Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
We are going to continue as we continue to celebrate Shabbat and turn as a congregation to page 20 for the singing of Lachad D. Verse 1.
Shamor v'zachor, v'dibor echad. Yishrianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad. U'shmo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'lit Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelchad. Imekor ha'bracha, mirosh v'kedem, nesucha. So we rise for verse 9 and face the back door. Alter and Malav, Gam
want to welcome everyone here as we finished off Kabbalat Shabbat. Don't get excited, that's just the beginning part of the service. For those of you who are here first or second time or third time, it could be your second time today. For many of us, it is great to be together. I want to thank the Jammin' Jews for all being here this Shabbat. I also want to thank Gary for setting everything up tonight, to Greg for making sure that we can be heard. And I hope that everyone acknowledge the St. Pete police officer on your way in, and if not, please acknowledge him on your way out so that we can sit here and just enjoy Shabbat. There are exits behind where you're sitting and in front of where you're sitting on all sides. And now that we're done with all of that, we will continue with Shabbat. So we are turning now to page 26 for the singing of the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadam, Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad devrakute v'yamlik makute.
B'chayechon uvyom echon uvchayetecho beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam me'omaya yitzbarach.
Yitbarak v'shabak. V'yet pa'ar v'yet roman v'yet naseh. V'yet hadar v'yet halel v'yet halal. Shemei dekudusha berichu. Lechelam min koberata v'shihirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma
V'yimeru.
Amen. We turn to page 29, and I invite you to join with me in English at the bottom of the page. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthest most star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. We turn one page prior and rise if you are able as we share the words of the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. May be seated. We turn now and join together in the Hebrew on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach sha'arim uvitzvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerateham barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. As we prepare to join together in our Shema on pages 34 and 35, I ask everyone to take a very deep breath and to let it out. And now I ask you to take a deep breath and to audibly let go of your week. Like a little bit bigger than that. Annie, you can do this. You ready? I still hear some remnants of a tough last week of testing. Last one. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that Shabbat comes in every single week, whether we're ready to accept it or not, or whether we recognize it's there or not. It's a gift God gives us, and when we're ready to take it in, it's a pretty unbelievable gift. So I invite you all to please rise if you're able, as we take these next breaths together, declaring our unity now and forever. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha Hayom alevavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta ba'am beshiftecha beveitecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha Ve'hayu letotafot beineinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim leloechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. You may be seated. On page 40, we prepare for the words of Michamocha, but I want to bring to light something that I hope is a reminder for our congregation. Although we sing and celebrate our freedom, we are told we must remind ourselves always that there's those who are not yet free. This week, with small ears listening, I remind you of what happened in another faith community. And I hope that each of you reached out to those within that community that you know of or maybe don't know of yet, but will at some point, and acknowledged how horrible that situation was and just how much support you have individually and we have collectively. It is so important. We are not just here for ourselves. We were never just here for ourselves. So as we think about those around the world who face many of the same challenges that we face, I invite us to sing this prayer, this song, reminding ourselves to reach out to those who are in need of strength when we have some to lend. We join in the words of Mi Chamocha on page 40. On page 5, the bottom reading in English was set to this beautiful melody by Dan Nichols, the same writer, the same composer who wrote that Mi Chamocha. And so I invite you to join us with this song. And when we get to a certain point, you'll see a lot of people stand up around you, so do the same on page 45 and then on page 46. But don't stand up yet.
48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Bekonei Hakol V'zocher Chastei Avot V'Imaot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo Ve'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham
Ve'etzrat Sarah.
Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayei Memunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Givurot Umidom Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'amanata lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. As we move through our Amidah, we arrive at our prayer of gratitude. And so I invite the congregation to think about what they're grateful for. And if you feel so moved to share that out loud, it's a wonderful way for us to recognize that maybe we missed that miracle and thought of it as regular. So if there's anything someone would like to share, I invite you to do so. Just raise your hand. Yes, please, Linda. Excellent. So not only am I repeating this so that you can hear what Linda said, we have about 30 people online for Shabbat who also will not hear it unless it goes in my mic. So Linda said she's grateful to have her granddaughter sharing Shabbat with her. It's wonderful, especially in honor of your mother's yard site. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, please, Nini.
Mandel and I are grateful for Rabbi and Temple Beth-El welcoming us this Shabbat evening to celebrate with our families. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. The gratitude was that I welcomed them to not only our congregation, but to celebrate tonight, to have Shabbat all together with your family. It's my honor to get to be with Lenny and with Annie and with Calvin so much of the time, and then with you two on Friday mornings. I missed you this morning. So really, you're always a part of our congregation, and it's wonderful to have you here. Yeah. Please, Joel. Amazing. Calvin, you missed it. Joel is so excited because he was just in D.C. because it was his grandson's 3rd birthday. Almost the same age. Welcome back, Joel. Yes, please, Tina.
I'm grateful to have a new grandson who will be 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm so glad. A new grandson that will be 2 weeks. You know, Judaism does some crazy things when they put sad with happy right back to each other. And please, God, may it always be that way. I hope you have so much to celebrate together on this beautiful occasion. Yes. I'm just going to wait, so. Oh, good. Yes. Please. Yep.
Okay. I'm grateful for my 11-year-old dog who was rescued
Oh, okay. She's grateful that her dog, who was a rescue, who's 11 years old, is going to not be with her after tomorrow. Beautiful. He's going to be with his other animal family. The fact is, guys, there are kids too. And we talked about this morning at Yiskor, that it's not the same as a human being, but it's an animal, and sometimes that's a little bit better, right? Well, our condolences for sure. Yeah, Gideon. Gideon, you're the historian for your family, I'm positive. So Gideon shared that his sister Hannah is going to be going to Alaska tomorrow on a cruise, which is awesome. It is his grandparents' 56th wedding anniversary coming up, right? Yeah. And that Cantor Rosalie Will, who is in Chicago, her youngest child this was her Torah portion. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thank you, Gideon. Yes, sir, Ben. Yes, sir. Benji, go ahead. One more time, I just wasn't looking at you, say it. Grateful for the earth. Yep, pretty amazing. Wow, grateful to be back after 4 months of Friday night Little League games. It is not Miami Beach with a Friday night baseball game. Yes, ma'am. You're grateful for what? Hi, Ezra. Food? Yeah, that's a good one. What food in particular are you thinking of right now? Ice cream? Okay, grateful for food in general, but ice cream most specifically right now. And on first day going into second day of Shavuot, you are spot on with that. Yes? Friends and family, absolutely. Annie? For ice cream also. That is so true. We could say it twice, it's so good. Did I miss someone? No. There is so much to be grateful for, whether we say it out loud or in our heads, but we invite God into those moments to elevate them to holy. So on the bottom of page 58, if you'll join with me in the Hebrew, we can do that together. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Amen. We continue now with the singing of Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace, on page 60.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amah, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amah, Tasim Le'olam. Yotavru Melech Gudul, Lechol HaShalom. Yotavru Melech Gudul,
Our thoughts turn now to those who are in need of healing, those in our lives and in our families, and those of us in this room. In a moment, I'll ask you for the names of those who you're thinking of, but first the names that we've been asked to say. We think of Henry Boffman, Janice Brady, Anne Bregman Raskow, Cantor Jen Duretz, Sarah Gastman, Terry Gilner, Barbara Haskell, Lance Lubin, Ellis Maldonado, Frida Marhi, Louis Ortiz, Elliot Scher, Esther Morrison, Michael Buchholz, Robert Burke, Hillary Kavanaugh, Ron Foster, Jordana Fuller, Lori Gordon, Susan Nash, James Oliff, Jerry Peters, Caden Riley, Stephen Rudin, Robert Shipley, Stan Silverberg, Jesse Turden, Marcia Turkin, and Matthew Sternberg Yee. If there's any additional names of those you're thinking of, I ask that you say them as my hand passes where you are sitting. I will remind you that my hand doesn't have a laser pointer, so you will overlap with each other, but the point is not for me to hear the names. It's for those who you're thinking of to know that they're being thought of. With all those names said out loud and in our hearts, we turn to page 253 for the singing of Misha Berach. As we wish and pray for them a complete and total healing, we're reminded that sometimes we're also praying for an easy passing and that they will never again get up the way that we think of them, but that we don't want them to suffer. And let us say, Amen. We take a few moments now to close our prayer books, but to open our minds and our hearts to only the words we have as we join in a silent prayer. We'll come back together again in a moment on page 62 with the singing of Oseh Shalom.
Ose shalom, bihim romav, uyase shalom, uyase shalom aleinu, yase shalom aleinu. We ask for peace on earth, and we say amen. Ve'yemeru amen, ve'yemeru amen. We raise our voices one, and we say amen.
This week, you can see on your Shabbat pamphlet that it says Na'aso 1. Na'aso 1 is a to be continued next week, where we get Na'aso 2, because tonight is the Chag of Shavuot. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why is it a Chag, what is a Chag, what is Shavuot, what is going on here, because we are used to having a Torah portion every single week. When there is a holiday, it usurps Shabbat's Torah reading. What it doesn't usurp is Shabbat. And so even though Shavuot is a 2-day-long holiday, or Chag, we are observing Shabbat tonight and tomorrow, and then we can then move forward through Havdalah. I wanted to bring up the idea that I read today online, and I shared it with Yizkor service this morning. Today is the day that Jews became Jews. Today is our birthday of Judaism, because today we receive Torah. Today, standing at Mount Sinai, the most unassuming of mountains, we received revelation. So why do I say the most unassuming of mountains? No spoilers if you were here this morning. There's a midrash, a story that says, remember midrash comes after Torah, a story that says all of the mountains and all of the desert were pleading to God, let me be the mountain that the Torah is given. I'm flashy, I've got thunder and lightning, I'm shaking. You can read all these stories in Torah of mountains in personification. But Mount Sinai, where we actually received Torah, Mount Sinai sat there humbly. Mount Sinai didn't get flashy, no jazz hands or sequins. Mount Sinai stood there humble. And God chose Mount Sinai as where we would ascend and get the 10 Commandments. This morning we spoke about how it's in those ordinary moments, those moments when we're actually just ourselves, that sometimes we receive the most of revelation. But I want us to think about something else. There are times when we are really great at performing, when we're really great at our jobs, or really great at a function, or really great just walking into a room. But maybe, just maybe, we're faking it a little bit. God saw right through, if we can still move with this metaphor, those mountains. God sees through all of the pretense. And it was in Mount Sinai being exactly who God created it to be, or each one of us, B'Tselem Elohim, who we were created to be, that God decided to really bless with Torah. Now, for some of us, we've heard the story that the Torah was offered to many different groups, and they all turned it down. Have you heard that story? If you haven't, you're not a bad Jew. You just haven't heard the story. But I find it so hard when I hear a non-Jewish colleague or congregant say, yeah, but why would you guys want it? I mean, we know you're the chosen people, but why did God choose you? And it's so interesting because within Judaism, it's a pretty common knowledge thing that we don't see ourselves as chosen above anybody else, that we were chosen amongst. We were chosen to take on Torah, absolutely a blessing, a gift, the values and the lessons of our entire lives and our lineage. But what a huge responsibility. What a weight. I spoke to someone this morning in a counseling session, I won't give any other details than that, saying, why is it so hard to be Jewish, she asked. Why does everyone hate us? Why are we celebrating the day we got Torah when that's what separates us from the rest of everyone else? And I just sat there with her. Because you know what, guys? I don't know why we were blessed with Torah, but sometimes blessings have both edges. But just, Jackie, as you taught me this morning, sometimes it takes people to really see both sides of the coin to feel blessed. Sometimes we have to experience loss to know love. Sometimes we have to feel the pressure and the burden and the stress to know what it feels like to breathe. So when I think about today and it being Shavuot, I think about so much to celebrate. How many of you were confirmed on Shavuot? Traditionally, this would be the holiday where we bring up our confirmation class, and they receive Torah, and they, in themselves, are choosing post-bar and bat mitzvah, I'm ready to be a Jew. Because also, how many of you, and you don't have to raise your hands on this one, were told you're having a bar or bat mitzvah, right? Yeah, for sure. In fact, I had to fly to Florida to get a dress from Michigan, Galleria Mall. I know, my mom's watching. Traumatic. They didn't have plus sizes in Detroit, I guess. It is not the time at 13 necessarily when a kid is choosing to define themselves within this faith that is so difficult. But confirmation, that's when a kid can say, I'm ready to do this, or I think I'm ready to do this. And so I commit to this congregation, we will have a confirmation class again. I have no doubt in my mind. We have 26 kids going to camp. We took 12 kids in our high school to go to DC. We're going to get there. But when I got a text from someone in Miami tonight saying, are you excited for confirmation? It was bittersweet. Because tonight we should be celebrating our kids, what we say in Torah, ingesting the sweetness of honey on their tongues, of receiving Torah for the first time. But just like I mentioned, Judaism doesn't just give us one side of the coin. Because if we were a synagogue that took for granted all the kids up here for confirmation, or frankly took for granted that so many people come to Shabbat, or came to Yizkor this morning, or come to Torah study, or even book club, maybe we might not know how incredible it is once we get to that point. Shavuot is all about receiving Torah. The Jewish people went from slaves to getting the Torah tonight, getting the Torah really last night. How could we experience the greatness of getting guidelines, rules, values, stories, leaders who have issues if we didn't ever have that? If we've always had that. For the generation that received Torah on Mount Sinai, they were not the same generation that saw the miracles God performed. They were not the ones alive for the parting of the sea. They were not the ones alive when they were freed from slavery, but they were the ones that walked into the promised land. So for our congregation, I look forward to where we're going, because many of you and many of your families stood here before us experiencing a very different Judaism, a very different Temple Beth-El, and maybe a very different Shavuot. But what we're looking towards, what our promised land is still yet to come, and we're planting those seeds right now. The song that Barbara and the Jammin' Jews picked tonight, Sweet as Honey, is a song that our kids are learning in Sunday school and in camp and in the ECC. And it's the song that reminds me, and I'm going to tell you this story. I might have mentioned it once other time. I was ordained in 2008. So we're looking at a big chunk of years here. And on the very first day of rabbinical school, on the very second day of rabbinical school, you might remember what happened the first day of rabbinical school. Does anyone remember that? My name on the Kaddish list, that was the first day. On the second day of rabbinical school, we were each handed a Tanakh. We were each handed Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, right? The 5 books plus all of the others. And the teacher, our Torah teacher, opened up to the very first page. A man with a huge beard, looked very Orthodox to me at a Reformed seminary, but not going there. He took out a dish full of honey, and he walked around to each of our Torahs, and he took his thumb, dabbed it in the honey, and dabbed it on the first page of our Torahs. And then said the blessing, "May your study of Torah be sweet upon your lips and sweet as you ingest it." That's the same Tanakh I keep on my desk today. When our kids started school this year, we did that blessing in our sanctuary. So why do we care if the taste of Torah is sweet? It's not just a metaphor. It's got to be something that we long for, that we enjoy, that we love, that it's something that we will come back to with a smile on our faces. I tell you, in a cheder, did anyone grow up in a cheder in here? In an old school, they do the same thing even today in those prayer books, in those sidurim. Find something in your life that reminds you that Torah is pretty amazing. And it doesn't have to be the 5 books of Moses Torah. It can be the Torah that we live by living a life of values, of being a good person. Find something that you can show the next generation that reminds them how great and how sweet it is to be a part of this group that carries the burden but enjoys the pleasures. Because just like we've mentioned 2 or 3 times tonight, there's 2 sides to every coin. It is hard to be a Jew. And I'm scared sometimes with our little people gone. I'm scared sometimes for that generation. But there's another side to the coin, because if you look around at each of us, we're still here, making sure that as they move through this tough time, we can help them. And as they grow up, they'll be there for the next generation as well. So this Shavuot, on the anniversary of us receiving our Torah, may we remind ourselves not just that it is sweet, but that we deserve to move forward knowing and recognizing how blessed we are to be Jews, how blessed we are to be Jewish adjacent or to love a Jew, how blessed we are to be a community, and how wonderful the opportunities are in front of us as we remind ourselves that Torah is ours and that we can spread it to the world. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with a reprise of something, reprise.
Why don't we do, so at my confirmation in Nashville,
Yeah.
in 1992,
Same
I
year,
sang
same year.
Shalom Rav. I
Nice.
did, yeah. I didn't play guitar yet. I learned that summer at camps.
And for Jay's bar mitzvah, right, didn't your dad come up when we did Shalom Rav?
Probably, that seems like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
let's do
sang it.
another, let's do another.
So we're going to do a reprise of
of the
Shalom
chorus
Rav,
of Shalom Rav. All right, you ready, John? Kick us off.
which says, "Peace unto our teachers," which really is the word for rabbi.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amah Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amah Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
Ooh, that was pretty.
You're all doing the math on 1992, aren't you?
Same age.
Yeah.
Barbara and I are the same
Yeah.
age. I invite us now to return to our prayer books. We turn to page 282. I'd like to invite the Strensises up to open the ark in honor of both their fathers' yortzites this evening, and we rise as a congregation if you are able.
92? 92 or 93? 95 was high school. No, graduation from high school. Anyway, okay.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for the surprise.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekeru la'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kuyei haratzon, velo hasamanu כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם כהנו כהם, וגוהר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Page 291. יש כוכבים שערם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים שזיר זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we have loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. As we think of those who we wish were sitting next to us, shlachi naches at our grandchildren lighting candles, or parents seeing us open the ark, as we think about their recipes, we think about their times being proud of us, we call these names to mind. We think of Rose Bass, Ann Bryan, Henrietta Cohen, Madeline Ducan, Jerome Esrick, Benjamin Leon Henry Gilbert, Harry Glick, Alan Gordon, Joel Grossman, Bernard Maurice Kaufman, Florence Lipman, Joan Morris, Mildred Oxman, Stephen Person, Harry Pollack, Solomon H. Pollinger, Rose Radunsky, Michael Rosenstock, Stella D. Sachs, Francis Shamrock, Gail Schneider, Lena Shevitz, Wolf Schneiderman, Eleanor Sitzman, Abraham Sorensis, Charles Stern, Irving M. Valenstein, Bessie Waldman, Frida Waterman, and Henry Wind. If I mispronounced your loved one's name, I'm sorry. I'll ask that you say it again, as well as add any additional names of those who you're thinking of at this time.
Lois Elfenbein Gosa.
Thank you. And Bring. And we join those mourners with our hearts so they feel a little more secure in theirs as we turn now in our prayer books to page 294 for the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach herute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Yehei Shemei Rabba Mivarach Leolam Almeil Maya, Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal, Shemei dekudesha, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'ami ran be'alma v'imru. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisroel v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing and a lesson, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated. I would like to invite up Rebecca Barancic, representing our Board of Trustees, to welcome you this Shabbat, and you can follow along in your Shabbat pamphlet. Hello, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rebecca Barancic, representing the board, as Rabbi said. Apologies if I didn't get a chance to welcome you at the door. I actually forgot that I was supposed to be greeting, so I saw about half of you, and thank you, Bruce, for covering for me. Thank you especially, Rabbi, for this wonderful service this evening. I really loved that you encouraged us to reach out to our Muslim friends who may be affected from this past week's events, and I think it meshes very well with the message you said right here. So you're talking Torah to all of us. I appreciate that. Also, thank you, Jammin' Jews. It's always great to have you here. Just a few announcements. Though it is summertime, we've got lots of things going on. The adult Hebrew students know that we're meeting off-site on Sunday and online. And that's also an excuse to tell you all, even if you're not in adult Hebrew class, that you can sign up for the online Torah training class, which will be in August. So as long as you know some Hebrew, you can take that class online from wherever you should be. So please come see me if you have any questions about that. And that will lead us to next year's Shavuot, when we have our adult B'nai Mitzvah. So that will be really exciting. Just one more year, everybody. This coming week, we have Shabbat as usual at 6 p.m. next Friday night, and the Beefy, our young adults almost, will be having dinner at Kobe. And then we've got the Torah Study Boot Camp Part 2 next Saturday morning. Do we have to have attended Part 1? Hey, let's all go to that next Saturday. We also have the events coming up related to Temple Beth-El's Pride celebrations. The writing is too small for me to read, but maybe you can read it. And if not, you can talk to Nancy Stein. Oh, the whole gang. Nancy, Ann, Bruce, Theo. Any of them can give you more details on that. So I've once again overstayed my welcome. Shabbat Shalom. You did not overstay your welcome. The class that Rebecca mentioned, the next class in the series of going towards Adult B'nai Mitzvah, which you can take separately, whether you're going that track or not, is Torah Trope. So it's not reading Torah just for that sake. It's learning the melodies and the trope marks to move you one step closer to not just your bar bat mitzvah, but also look at high holiday honors. That's what that one is. So exactly. It's okay. I guess not high holiday, Shabbat honors. But as Rebecca mentioned, we chose next year's Shavuot to honor our adult B'nai Mitzvah class. So we can take one more year to build our confirmation class. And that date is June the 13th of 2027. So I know that you'll all join us. And I know that Boys in the Hood have already agreed to host that luncheon in honor of our class. So that's exciting. Put it on your calendar. I want to thank Doug and John. I want to thank Rebecca and also Barbara, because this is the best way to celebrate Shabbat, I think, in song. And so thank you all for what you add to the prayer service. We are going to conclude with the singing of Motzi, as well as a closing song. Kiva Moed.
I thought that'd be good for Shavuot.
It is a good one, yes. So please rise for Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom.
Wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. If there is food out there in Ziplocs, please take it to those who are in the underserved community or take it home and enjoy it. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Oh, there are also blintzes out there that Nicole Bromesco made. So there's blintzes with strawberry Kool-Aid. Enjoy.